Hello everybody and welcome to Virtual Sim League. We are here in Cota for the Tier 2 race. Now before we go into qualifying, as it has already started, apologies for the delay, we will go to the championship standings where we see Jordan is leading the championship by 10 points ahead of Leroy. Gareth ahead of Leroy about 7 point gap. I can't do maths. Who Leroy is ahead of Hotspeed by 5 points. Yuri in the fight still on 146 points in 5th, and then there's a 40-point gap between Yuri and Deck. And then Tony, Ryan Berry, and Newgarden round off the top 10. We then go to the Constructors, where Mercedes are leading the Constructors by 30 points from AlphaTauri, who are 16 points ahead of Alfa Romeo. Red Bull staying in the fight as well, so are Ferrari. It's quite a close constructors fight, even Haas involved as well, down in 6th. And then McLaren, Alpine, Aston Martin, and Williams, all I think are out of the constructors fight. But yeah, so we go into the qualifying session where we're on board with Kaya, as I believe he is, well, would have been the first driver to set a lap. He hasn't validated those, so we'll move on to the next driver, who would be Hotspeed. No, it isn't. It is... Let's find out. All these guys have been validated. Brilliant. Okay, Lewis Craig. Let's watch on board with him as he goes onto the start-finish straight in his nice Williams. I don't know who's actually started their lap because this game seems to be really buggy. So he goes into turn 1 as Tony has set a 135.4. Good lap from him. However, will that be beaten? We'll find out. Lewis Craig going through sector 1 then. 25.7 for sector 1, not the fastest. As Yuri, 134.1. Leroy beats that 133.7. That's a very good lap from the Ferrari driver. We're going to now go on board with, no, it's not risky, it is a McLaren of Matt Ryan, who comes across the line. What's it going to be? A 135.5, slowest out of the bunch for now. Ryan Berry has invalidated his outlap. We go on board with Gareth, who claims he is the fastest speed driver on any grid. He claims he's just the fastest speed driver. Let's see if he is. Can he beat Leroy? He won't. It puts him third, 134.1. So, yeah, right, next up's Haas. Hotspeed, as he comes around the last corner. Let's see what he can set himself. He goes 6th, 135.4. As we are, I'm just going to get the chat up real quick. I did have it up, but for some reason disappeared. Okay, so who else got going across the line? The Alfa Romeos. Acorn has piled into pits. What about Tony Powell would also hit up his gym? Ferrari, let's go on board with N89, who has invalidated. So I'm assuming that Red Bull's not on a lap here as well yet. Ferrari of F1C Jules Show 13. Or Jules Hatch. How? I don't know. Gareth has got a 5-second grid penalty for collision with Risky. As Risky is out of the session, I feel like Gareth has been breaking some rules here. This isn't very professional from the fastest driver in speed. That is definitely going to be investigated because that's just disgraceful from the Mercedes driver. In qualifying as well on a straight, which makes it seem very sus. From the Mercedes driver, that is very odd. I've not seen anyone crash out of quali because of another driver in a while. Let's go on board with Jordan then. Goes through turn 1. Alpha Tauri driver, leading the championship right now. Isn't leading the constructors though, so I'm sure him and Ryan Berry will be looking at potentially maybe trying to get themselves into the fight. The 26-0 is his first sector. You really want to try and get on the power early here, but not too early when you spin the car. And then it's quite an easy corner here. You don't want to turn in too early because you won't get a good exit, but you don't want to turn in too late, otherwise you're just going to go completely wide. That was a good entrance from Jordan, I think. On the medium compound for qualifying, which is a different choice. So definitely when the tyre wear is so bad around here, to go on the mediums in qualifying is an interesting choice. You can cut that curve quite a bit. You choose to stay in the white lines. Sector 2, fastest according to the game. Do we believe that? Absolutely not. Game lies to us all the time. This corner very hard, easy to lock up through. He navigates it pretty well. As he goes through the fast right-handers, turn wherever corners they are. There's about 3 different corners in that corner alone. And the fast left-hander, you don't want to take the IndyCar line. Good entrance through there. Goes through the final corner. Quite easy to actually validate for this last corner. Comes across the line. It's going to be a 1:35.2, which puts him 5th, which, by the way, on mediums, very good effort indeed. So, we go on board with Speed Newgarden as he goes down the little straight thing. As clips the apex nicely there, gets on the throttle nicely. He's got a Alfa Romeo ahead of him. Will he be able to gain any sort of slipstream? We will see. By the way, if there's any audio issues or stream issues, let me know, and I will be right on it to hopefully fix it. I know I don't sound the greatest. I've got a cold at the moment. As Newgarden hits the sector 2 split at 1:3.7. I'm hoping that Alfa Romeo is not going to get into Newgarden's way, because that would not be great. I don't know who is it. Acorn? No, it isn't. It is Tony. So hopefully Tony won't get in the way, and we'll let Matt have his lap. I think the gap's too big anyway to really affect it. Might just be a little bit distracting, really. Comes through the last corner, and it is a 1:34.9, which puts him into 5th place ahead of Jordan on those medium tyres. Next up, let's go on board with Lewis, who is starting his lap. Red Bull of Yuri, is he on a lap? I believe he is. No, he isn't. He's starting it. The game just likes to lie to me. Ryan Berry does not improve on his lap. Hot Speed, is he on a lap? I think he... No, he isn't. What's a 2-minute lap? Okay, interesting. Odd. Okay, let's go on board with Kaya. Let's see what he can set himself. Hasn't set a lap yet as he twitches his way through the right-hander and then twitches his way through the left-hander. Runs wide, takes the IndyCar line, doesn't invalidate. That is disgraceful from Codemasters. Okay, goes very wide through the last corner. Goes 11th, well, 1:39.1. Good lap from Kaya, I'd say. As Joshua is starting his lap, despite the fact the game says he isn't on a out lap. Typical Codemasters. Acorn, let's see what he can set himself as he comes across the line. It is a 1:34.6, puts him up to 5th place. Good lap. Next up, we have N89R. How is that not invalidating him? Is this on not on strict or something? Goes across the line. What's it going to be? Deployment used. 1:35.0. Alright lap time. As the Matt Ryan going up to 11th. Got a Red Bull. Trying to keep up here. Leroy? Yuri, sorry, wrong brother. 1:33.8. Good lap. Only a 10th behind Leroy, but no one's able to beat Leroy's first lap yet, which is surprising, I reckon. It will be beaten by the end of the session. Hot Speed comes across the line and it puts himself up to 6th for 1:34.7. As we now cut to, not Jordan, he is peeling into the bits. Apologies about that. Is that Tony on a lap? Yes, it is. Oh God, sorry, I'm really lost her. Is anyone actually on a lap? Okay, here we go. McLaren, who is in neutral. That is not on a lap. Oh, he's spun. Okay, that's one way to warm up the tyres from Jules Show. Jules how? I'm gonna say Jules Show. I feel like that's probably wrong, but I don't really know how else to say it. Right. As I believe Acorns and the pits, I think it's run out of fuel. Ferrari, you on a lap? 3 seconds down. No, you just set a lap. What is going on? I'm so lost. Matt Ryan, is he on a lap? That looks like he might be on a lap. No, he isn't. Can one of you set a lap? Just to stop my pain. Here we go, Leroy. No, okay. We're going to watch on board with Leroy. Let's watch him on his lap. I apologise for this horrific commentating. So, enters the final corner. Here we go. Down the start. Back straight thingy. Turns his DRS on. Opens his DRS as he goes down into turn 1. Does he clip the apex? Nope, misses it. Gets a good run down into turn 2. And then going through the fast S's. So you go through turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, you throw the car around turn 6, and then turn 7, faster sector 1, 2 tenths up. It goes through turn 8. Very hard to get on the traction through here, but at the same time, oh, as Leroy shows us that. He didn't invalidate those, so I want to know if he's going to carry on this lap or if he's going to back out of there. I think he's given up on it by the fact his DRS isn't deploying. Yeah, I don't know why he stopped that lap, because I know he's messed it up, but I reckon he could have probably gained a few tenths still. But, okay. Give up early, Leroy. Ryan Berry, are you on a lap? ERS deployment says no. Okay. No one's on a lap. How about Lewis Craig? Let's see what you can set himself. I just realised I can get the caps up. Why am I not doing that? Here we go. So, Lewis Craig, going through the S's, turn 3, turn 4, turn 5. You really have to throw the car about through here. I feel like if you don't, you're just not going to be able to get the turn in. Ooh, that was very close to invalidating from Lewis. Alright, exit better than Leroy's on his previous lap. I swear I've seen Lewis start about 3 laps. How has he not set one yet? Very confused about that. He goes through the straight, opens the DRS wide. Let's see. I definitely don't think he's running low wings by how fast he's going down that straight. Does that corner correctly. Set to 2 split at 1.3.7. Yeah, I feel like he's turning in quite early through some of these corners. Like, he's having to, like, correct it so he's not turning in. But then again, it's controller. I can't, like, say for sure because I'm not a controller driver, personally. As Lewis goes through the final corner, let's see what he can set himself. Comes across the line. It's going to be a 34.4, which puts him up to 5th, ahead of Deck, and behind Gareth, who killed Risky. Who Risky, by the way, in 3rd place. So, considering he DNF'd, 3rd place isn't too bad for him. As Kai is starting his lap in a very odd place on track. Interesting. But yeah, laps are now really starting to start. Sorry. Is that Red Bull on a lap? I think New Garden might be. Yes, he is. 2 tenths up. As it goes and flings his car through the left-hander. Just about stayed in the white lines. Here's a good lap from Matt, I feel. Comes across the line. What's it going to be? Puts him up to sit for 134.5. Next up, we have the Alpha Tauris, who have not started their laps. They're starting it now. Game needs to be more reliable. McLaren's also rather really just ruined his lap there, or hasn't started his lap. I think now is where the rest of the drivers will start their laps as Kaya gets out of the way of the Haas. We've got a Ferrari. Where's this Ferrari? We've got Leroy. He is low on fuel, according to the thing on the bottom right. Does that mean that's his qualifying session over? Let's find out. Does he continue to do a lap? Or does he peel into the pits? He stays out, so he is going to do this lap. Let's watch on board with the Ferrari driver as he is the first one out. So, no pressure, Leroy. You're 10th up. What could possibly go wrong, right? Going into turn 1. This is the inside apex, hits the right outside apex as it goes through turn 2. Looking good so far from the Ferrari driver to go through turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, turn 6. And then the camera doesn't see him to cut off. Through turn 7, what's it going to be? 2/10 improvement. Turn 8. Can he get the throttle correctly this time? Yes, he does. A little bit more caution, but it works. It pays its dividends. Goes through down to turn 9, I want to say. I could be getting this all completely wrong, but we're going to carry on. At the end of the straight. Good exit. Opens the DRS wide. It is looking like a solid lap time here from the Ferrari driver. I've not seen any mistakes so far. As he goes down to turn 11. You can run that curve quite well. He hasn't invalidated it. It's going to be a 1:2.9. 3/10 up on his lap time, going through 12 and then 13. Down into 14th. Shift down to 3rd. Get on the throttle. Up to 4th. Into 5th. Going through the fast right-hander. Don't invalidate on the inside. Don't touch the inside. It will spin your car completely round. Fast left-hander. Don't go wide through here. It will invalidate most of the time. And in the final corner, what's it going to be for Leroy Hasselager? As he goes across the line, it is going to be a 33.3, 4/10 improvement. But what about Gareth? What can he do? He's invalidated. So even though he has killed Risky, it doesn't matter. He's still behind him. Next up, we have Chaos behind us by the looks of it. That is a crash in the pit lane. Hot speed, what's he going to be able to set? Because Matt Ryan's been penalised. Hot speed goes a 1:34.3, puts him up to 5th. What about the Williams driver of Kaya? He's invalidated. And that is, I believe, session done. It is Leroy 5/10 ahead of the rest of the field. Wow. Good lap from Leroy. It looked very clean, and it was clean. Who was that? It was Mercedes, wasn't it? Who crashed into Yuri, I think it was. These guys, how are they crashing into qualifying? I would never know. Collision, yeah, it's Matt Ryan. But yeah, Leroy Hasselager is your pole position man with 1:33.3, 5/10 ahead of the rest of the field. I mean, this couldn't go much better for the Ferrari driver, and I'm sure he's going to be very happy with that. But you don't get points in the qualifying session. So, Leroy, 5/10 ahead of Yuri, who closely who's close between Yuri and Risky, who DNF'd very early into the session. Jordan in 4th place, our championship leader, not the greatest qualifying for him. Hot speed in 5th. Gareth with his murder on Risky qualifies 6th, but will drop down. Lewis Craig 7th, Newgarden 8th, Acorn 9th, Matt Ryan will drop down because of his crash, Jules 11th, Eden 8, 9, 12, Tony 13th, Ryan Berry 14th, Kaya 15th, and MX Site down in 16th place. However, I don't think he will be because of the penalties. 2 grid penalties in 1 qualifying session. Most of the time you see none, but not these guys. They're very good drivers. So I believe that this is going to be a very clean race by the sounds of it. So, if you're in the chat or watching, what are your predictions for tonight's race? Who do you think is going to win? Let me know in the comments below or in the live chat. Don't do the comments because unless you're watching this back, it'd be quite pointless. As you can see, the pit crew all T-posing in their positions as they get ready for the inevitable lap 1 pit stop for one of their drivers. So, as we now go on to the formation lap, hopefully. Yep. So, Matt Ryan actually starts 15th, not 16th. So let's go on to tyres. Leroy starts on the medium tyres. The top three do, Yuri and Risky. Jordan and Hotspeed decide to go and risk it onto the hards. Let's start in 4th and 5th. Lewis Craig in 6th. On medium, so is Newgarden in 7th. Acorn and Jules Show also on hards, followed by Gareth, N89, Tony, Ryan Berry, Kaya, Ryan, and MXI, all on the medium tyres. So, who is going to win tonight's race? Will it be Yuri? Will it be Leroy? Will it be Risky? Or will Jordan manage to come back on the alternative strategy? He could be doing a hard to soft, or he could be doing hard to medium. Either way, if he can get through, if he can get through a clean race, a bit of chaos ahead of him, and he doesn't drop too far down on those hards, it could work. Same with Hotspeed. Lewis Craig and Newgarden could easily jump those guys on hards. Same with Acorn and Jules Show, they can both, if they don't drop too far down on their hards, could easily have a good result, as Leroy has bolted. He has said, you know what, I'm not staying with you guys are too slow for me, even for the formation lap, and has just ditched his brother and Risky and the rest of the field. Oh, now he's decided to wait up for them. He's just teasing them. This better not be a dominance display from him, because his ego's just growing more and more. So he slows down, thinks, you know what, my tyres do need heat for the start of the race. So, this is gonna be a good race, hopefully, as we see Leroy parking it up on his grid position. Let's see if he can not get disqualified going onto the grid. Does a little burnout. Love to see it. That's how you do it. No 360s going onto the grid. Gareth decided to put a rule in which I shall not put an opinion on. As he does that correctly. Hotspeed hasn't, though. So, looking good for the start of the races. Ooh. Tony, that's a way to enter the grid. Ferrari has also messed up his starting position. And I believe that is all of our drivers. Ferrari has McLaren has lined up. So here we go then. Can we get about a quality angle? No, apparently not. 5 red lights. It's lights out. And away we go. Who's going to get the better start? Leroy has the better start. But Risky's had even a better start than both of the Hasselagers. It's going into turn 1. Who's going to be leading into turn 1? Yuri's pushed Risky off the track. Leroy has bolted completely. Risky going around on the inside. Overtakes Yuri. And Leroy completely bolts, as there is a yellow flag for the Ferrari of N89, who has seemingly gone off. As there's 3 wide action going on between the Haas, the Alfa Romeo, and the Alpha Tauri. I can't even remember the teams anymore. As Acorn and Ryan Berry side by side. Oh, that was very close to contact, as Ryan Berry has an awful exit through there. MXI in the Aston Martin overtakes Ryan Berry, takes advantage of that. Ryan Berry sends it right up the inside of the Aston Martin. Touches a bit, and it looks like Ryan Berry is not giving this up. I thought he would just give him the place back, but he's not going to. We've got Matt Ryan also on the other side here. This is a brilliant battle for the start of the race. Matt Ryan goes on the inside. Ryan Berry runs himself out of room, and that is him dropping down to 12th. Also saw a move from Newgarden, who's overtaken Jordan, as Gareth goes up the inside of Jordan. Jordan has been absolutely bullied on those hard tyres. They are not working as of yet the start of the race. As there's more dropping down the field, as Ryan Berry has dropped a few places. He's going to potentially lose a position to Tony. He doesn't. So, it is Leroy who has had the perfect start. But Risky has had an even better start than him. In P2, he had a great start off the line. As Lewis Craig overtakes Jordan. Jordan just not being able to get heat onto those tyres, or they just don't have enough grip. One of the two, but it's just not working for the Alpha Tauri drivers. Ryan Berry and MXI still battling here. They go side by side. And XI is sputtered, taking out Tony Parr. That is a big crash. That is surely a safety car. It's a drive-through penalty from XI for that crash. It's not a safety car. I thought that would be a safety car. No? Okay. Cheers, game. That was a horrific crash. So XI with a drive-through penalty. And no front wings, so that's going to really mess up his race. He's going to need a safety car after this virtual safety car. So that neutralises the field. Did anyone else get involved in that? I thought I saw someone else get collected, but I don't think anyone did. I think it must have just been avoided by the looks of it. I'm just going to get the chat up to make sure no one said anything else. As we go back to green flag running. And it looks still all good for Leroy. So he didn't lose much time off the restart, which is all good for the Ferrari driver. Risky though, he's still staying with Leroy. I'm not counting Risky out of this at all. He's looking quite quick. Oh, you don't want to touch those sausage curbs though, because that will spin you. Newgarden's had a brilliant start, by the way. I think he's getting like, what, 2-3 positions already? And it's only been 3 laps, one of them being under virtual safety car. Can this please show me? He gained 3. Oh, Gareth gained 5. So good start for these guys so far. Yeah, Leroy's bolted. I thought Risky would stay with him, but if we're going to be quite frankly honest, it's not happening. Leroy's gone. Christ. Gareth is catching up to Newgarden though. So not all... Oh, actually, Yuri's the one holding up everyone here, so as here we will see Newgarden get the slipstream. Will he be able to overtake his teammate, or will this just be plain team orders? They go side by side down the straight. Yuri seemingly letting Newgarden through. So good teamwork there from the Red Bull drivers, as now Yuri needs to somehow defend off Gareth, who seems to be looking quite quick considering, you know, he killed Risky. But, you know, we'll let that drop for the rest of the race. I feel like I've brought it up a fair few times now, and he's probably going to message me later and go, "You got to stop making digs at me." No, I won't. Anyways, so Gareth on the back of Yuri as Kai has been overtaken by the Ferrari. Risky has set the faster lap compared to Leroy. Newgarden's setting an even faster one. As here goes Gareth. Is he going to be able to make any good moves? No, he's not. He's going to sit back for now. But this could be a good race between the 3 of them here. I'd say these 3 are quite matched on pace. Even Lewis Craig's in here as well. So good battle here for the podium, the final podium place. Yuri's actually falling out the DRS there. I'm surprised Yuri's struggling as much as he is. As Kaya gets a 3-second time penalty. What is Gareth going to be able to do? Is he going to be able to make the move this lap, or is he going to sit back? And, oh, look at that, he's got straight line speed for days. Actually, saying that, he's just burning his ERS. They're both very equal on the ERS. Oh, here we go. Yuri back on the inside of his teammate. And it's kind of invited... Oh, Matt's going to get the switch back here on Yuri. He's made the move stick. What a move. Now Yuri's having trouble with Gareth here. They go side by side. These guys are always battling, these two. It looks like Gareth's going to have the better run. And indeed gets past Yuri. However, Yuri's going to have the switchback of dreams there. He's nearly making the move around the outside. That would have been a very good move if he could make that stick. But in fact, I think he just picked up a warning out of all that. Looks like he's also overheated his tyres, unfortunately. So, as Lewis Craig getting quite close behind Yuri. I don't know what's happened to Yuri. He's quick, but he's not showing a lot of quickness tonight. He's down in 5th. His laps don't seem to be amazing right now. No offense, Yuri, but come on, that's the pace. 39-7 to your brother's 38-4. Wow. Okay. Okay. Good. What? Okay. So Gareth, can he make the move on Newgarden? Now he's got past Yuri, who was going to defend for all his might, couldn't even do that. As he goes down into the straight, he gets a wow, what a line that was. Talk to me about medium traction, huh? Here he goes, overtake, DRS. It's too easy for him. His straight on speed is ridiculous. He moves up into third place. By the way, I would like to point out, without any bias whatsoever, it's a speed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We see Kaya and Jules Show battling out. Looks like Jules Show has overtaken the Williams. The Williams is burning his ERS. Going to try and make the move back here of the McLaren driver. He's going to send it down the inside. No, he won't. He's going to sit back and never be seen again. Also did see a move between Deck and Ryanberry, I think, but it seems to have disappeared out of complete nowhere. This is still a battle, by the way, for this podium, but I think Gareth's just going to slowly but surely get away, which is unfortunate. Saying that, Newgarden is sort of sticking. Risky's kind of slowly but surely dropping away from Leroy. Leroy is just in a world of his own. Yeah, he's gone. Lewis Craig is right up the two Red Bulls as rear ends here. I should have brought myself a drink. Right, let's see. Lewis Craig behind the Red Bull driver. Ryan Barry, 3-second time penalty. That is not what he wants. As here we go for the DRS zone. Newgarden just about staying in that DRS. As Lewis Craig seems to have got a better exit than Yuri, but I don't think it's going to make any change in that. No, it won't. So he'll sit behind. Lewis Craig, I think, might be quicker than two Red Bulls right now. He looks like he's able to keep up with him. He seems, I feel like he's definitely quicker than Yuri. So this could be a battle here between these guys for fourth place, as Gareth has unfortunately dropped Newgarden and Yuri. Oh, here we go. Lewis Craig. Could he go down the inside in the final corner? Ooh, it's not a bad attempt, you know. Just can't get the exit, though. Ooh, that was a good attempt, though. I was going to say that was a very risky and unusual move to make. But, yeah, as he sits behind Yuri, it looks like the Williams... Oh, he's getting quite a bit for that S section. I feel like he's got more downforce than the Red Bull. As Yuri, 3-second time penalty, maybe buckling under pressure. Sure, Freddie Mercury would agree with him. So, will there be any overtakes in this top 4 fight? By the way, Hot Speed is keeping up with Jordan on those hard tyres. Both of them obviously on hard tyres. Is Yuri catching on his teammate? Is he going to maybe look up the inside? No, he won't. He'll sit back for now. So, this train carries on. The only DNF we have so far is Tony Parr after that very unfortunate incident between MX Site and Tony himself. By the way, MX Site. Oh, as that's risky who's gone round. That is... How has he done that? He's in second place. League of his own by himself, just casually. He's now dropped down to 6th place. How he's done that, I will never understand. Oh, was Jordan. He's smelling a opportunity to get past one of these medium runners. He could burn his ERS, but he doesn't want to make the move all of a sudden. So this makes this battle even more exciting now, as Risky will maybe potentially catch up to this. He was quicker before he spun, so I fully expect him to catch up again. Yeah. So we've now got potentially a 3-car scrap. No, 4-car scrap. And he might even bring along Jordan, as Lewis Craig has got a 3-second time penalty and hot speed. So this could be getting into quite an adventurous fight here. Oh, look at this. Lewis Craig looking up the inside. Thinks about it. Tries to make the move, but Yuri just able to keep it around the outside. Which also gives Yuri the, well, did have the better run, but he's decided to burn his DRS as Yuri's actually going to make the move on his teammate. Here's a great chance for Lewis Craig to maybe take advantage of this if he can get a good exit. They're going side by side. Newgarden and Yuri still going side by side. There's great battling between the two of them. As who's going to get ahead? Yuri just, but will Matt be able to get the switch back? Oh, he thinks about it, but Lewis Craig very close to running into the back of Newgarden there. I was only using him for the camera there, but he nearly made the move himself. Newgarden then. He's going to want to keep up with his teammate, maybe even overtake him here. Risky now gets a 3-second time penalty. Not getting any better for Risky all of a sudden. As Lewis Craig, is he going to be able to potentially have a look at Newgarden? He won't. Newgarden not able to look at his teammate now. Goes very wide and deep into turn 1, mind you. As Lewis Craig's now on the outside, which will turn into the inside. He won't make a move here, that's just stupid, surely. Yeah, he stays behind. His teammate gets a 3-second time penalty. His second of the race is Risky has decided to pit. What tyres has he gone on to? No way, the tyre's dead already. He's gone on to hards. That's a very bold early pit stop, that. So, Lewis Craig. Looking at the back of Newgarden. Newgarden trying to stick with Yuri. Is he going to be able to? He's going to be able to gain time onto him, but he's burnt through his ERS. And he will sit behind his teammate for one extra lap. He's gone very deep, though. It seems like Newgarden, he needs to work on his braking zones. Because he keeps running deep and it's compromising him. As there goes Lewis Craig around the outside. Newgarden's going to defend the inside line. Lewis Craig gets the switch back, but loses the rear end out of all of that. And Newgarden defends Lewis Craig for another day. As Jordan is catching up to these guys. So these guys might want to stop scrapping. As Newgarden just outside the 1-second gap between him and his teammate, which means this might actually be an easy move at the end of the day for Lewis. Goes around the outside on the straight. Newgarden going to try and potentially get the switch back. No, he won't. He'll settle for 5th place. So Lewis Craig will now try and catch up to Yuri, who has been behind him for the whole race. In other news, Hot Speed is slowly but surely staying with Jordan. These two are very matching pace, I think. I want to say, if I can figure out how to use this. Hot Speed's actually nearly 3 times quicker than him. Okay, interesting. That adds another bombshell into this race, because Leroy, I think as it stands, will be leading the championship, because he's got the massive gap to Jordan. I mean, I can't remember the point system, mind you. But if we were talking real life points, Jordan needs like a top 5 to stay in, I think, which was said earlier. So this could be getting tasty for Leroy here. He's definitely put in the time to potentially keep himself. Let me just find out what the gaps are, if I can bring that over. No, I can't. Okay, put it on here quickly. As nothing's going on. So yeah. Oh no, actually, this benefits Gareth quite a bit as well, because in fact I think Gareth will be leading the championship, and Leroy might overtake him as well. I'm not too sure. I can't do maths, but Yuri in the pits., he's also going onto the hard compound. Now this will show us Will the undercut work? For Risky. He comes around the final corner. He was behind Yuri after the spin, and it looks like he might actually be stupidly clear. I think this has worked massively. It has! Risky has overtaken Yuri by a mile, so unless he had front wing damage, which I don't think he did, or if he's made a massive mistake, he's behind Risky's teammate. That's massive for the race. If Risky can keep this pace up, doesn't get held up by the Ferrari ahead, he could be looking forward to the win, maybe. It's a bit of an outrageous shout, but I didn't expect Yuri to lose about 6 seconds. So unless Yuri's had a stinker of a in-lap, that's really shocking. And here goes Risky then. On the Ferrari, is he going to be able to make the move? He is on the fresher tyres. If Ryan Berry gets a 3-second time penalty, down the inside, Risky goes into 10th place. Obviously, isn't the net 10th place, but looking good for Risky. Will we see maybe Leroy? He stays out. Okay, interesting. So these guys are all staying out as of yet. I thought so. I mean, the hard guys, obviously, I'm not surprised, but Newgarden, Leroy, Gareth, they're all sitting back while Risky pumps in the consistent quick laps. And this obviously helps, all the 3 seconds coming in all of a sudden, obviously helps Yuri as well at the end of this. Because he's going to be catching Gareth and Newgarden. So, thing is, the undercut could work now, but you've got to remember, like, Hot Speed and Jordan, they're both on hards. So, yeah, when these guys go on the mediums, it will definitely get more interesting. I hope a safety car's going to come out. I need to get a drink. Okay, as oh, I thought Hot Speed was going to make the move there, but Newgarden might want to pit soon because now he knows that these hard guys are catching up to like Jordan and Hot Speed catching up Newgarden. I'd pit now before that advantage of starting on the mediums disappear. Oh, he's actually gone round. Okay, Newgarden going round. Ghosting system saves them both as Leroy pits. It won't be a safety car because he hasn't hit the wall. Nor has no one collected him. Unfortunate for Newgarden there. He was running a good race. But yeah, unfortunate. He'll pit now. I'm hoping he won't retire on the pits and he'll carry on. But yeah, unlucky for Newgarden. There's Leroy also pitted. Apologies, I've missed that. Risky, see how big his undercut is. He jumps Lewis Craig, so he's gained about 3 to 4 seconds, or I thought I was going to send it there. He's gained about 3 to 4 seconds there in that undercut alone. He's 7 seconds behind Leroy, so obviously he lost time with the spin, but he hasn't, it's worked, I'd say, this undercut. What it hasn't worked for is Yuri. I don't know what's happened to Yuri. Why he's 5 seconds off Lewis all of a sudden, I really don't understand. But yeah, weird as Acorn behind Matt Ryan. I hear these two have had, I don't know if they've had beef or really good friends, one of the two. Anyway, Acorn down the inside of Matt Ryan thinks better of it. Oh, Matt Ryan hits the sausage curbs and get a 3-second time penalty. Is he gonna be able to send it here? No, he won't. It will sit back for now. Oh, and that's Yuri who has lost the rear end. These guys are starting to make mistakes here as Gareth's into the pits. I would presume he's going to come out in second place. I feel like there's no sufficient reason why he wouldn't. I don't think the undercut's that strong to the point where Risky would have jumped him as well. That Ryan's also pitted at the same time. Double stack, interesting strategy from Mercedes. So Risky is, as the game sorts its times out, 4 seconds behind Gareth's 3 seconds. He's definitely catching as Matt Ryan comes out in 10th, just ahead of Ryan Berry, who gets the switch back on him. That was beautiful. So Ryan Berry then stays, makes his way up to 10th place on track. I don't know where that's going to be off track. Well, not off track, but without pit stops, obviously. Ooh, Kyle getting a bit of shape there. This is where Jordan could have a downfall, as Hot Speed is going to now have the DRS where Jordan won't, as Leroy overtakes Acorn. Solid move from the Ferrari driver. He moves himself in a third, obviously leading. I think even if the safety car came out, these two would just pit. So he's got this covered. Leroy is just insane pace at the moment. Lewis Craig also, he's still sitting behind Risky here, which surprises me because he was looking quick and all of a sudden that pace has just disappeared. Yuri's still in a somewhat okay position, even that half spin. He's you know, sure he's not leading the race, but he's doing alright. It's Lewis Craig, fastest lap of the race. He really wants to get past Risky here. I nearly said speed bump. Saw a commentator did that to me the other day. I was like, just call me Key for God's sake. Oh, okay, I said that. He was catching and he's now spun it himself. And will drop behind Yuri, behind Dual Show, and potentially Ryan Berry. He does corner cuts as well, which probably didn't help. Frisco gets another 3-second time penalty, and he slots himself in between Ryan Berry and Matt Ryan. Not what Lewis wanted there, I don't think. Meanwhile, Hot Speed stays behind Jordan for another lap. This battle will get interesting, and with the medium advantage, it'll be interesting to see how this shapes out. I think Hot Speed might be quicker than Jordan. If I'm going to be quite frankly honest, he seems to have more of the pace. I was saying that he's burnt through all the bloody ERS, isn't he? Oh, we'll say that was very understeery from the Alpha Tauri driver. Hot Speed has an advantage here, potentially, where he can make the move first of pitting and getting the undercut, because he's behind. So that might be his strategy. Keep with him, and then pit earlier, and then get the medium tyres on, undercut him, start catching the rest of the field. Maybe, I don't know. What I do know is Jordan currently is leading the race in terms of on track, without obviously pitting. Dual Show pits as well. I thought he'd already pitted. He's going on to a set of mediums. As Hot Speed is catching up to Jordan still. I reckon he will honestly just sit behind him. So yeah, I don't see him making the move. I reckon it's just better to stay behind him. Even though he's burning through all of his ERS, I reckon it's just to stay with him. Maybe even not scare him a bit. As Gareth is making the move on Acorn, I know these two have their moments. Let's say that for sure. Their Twitter debates are always a joy to read. But Gareth gets past him with some ease. So rivalry is not going to get in the way of Gareth trying to chase down Leroy Hasselager. Any of these guys going to pit yet? Mediums can definitely make it to the end. Hot Speed does. I told you he was doing this. He makes the first call. Into the pits the Haas goes. Where will he come out, and how good is his pace going to be? Let's find out. Goes on to the medium compound of tyre. I think he should come out behind Yuri and ahead of Ryan. He does, yeah, just behind Yuri. So kind of where he was already. I know Yuri obviously had his moments, so got to take that out of account. But good place, I'd say. Because now he's going to be right behind Yuri on much fresher and better tyres. And yeah, looking good for Hot Speed, as his tyres are cold for now, so he's obviously going to lose a bit of time. They'll warm up, and then I think Jordan might lose this place. Guess we'll find out though. There's Lewis Craig. I thought he was going to overtake Lewis Capaldi. Ryan Berry. I got completely wrong names as well. Yeah, Hot Speed. I reckon he could have a shout of getting a podium. It's risky. Another 3 seconds. How did you get 3 seconds there? Very odd place. Has Jordan pitted? No, he isn't. I wonder if he's going to try and risk it onto the softs, you know? Leaving it this late. Definitely a push. As Deck pits. What tyres is he going to go on to? Goes on to the medium tyre as he has not moved out of the pit lane. Now he has. Good teleportations from the Alpha Romeo drivers. As he slots himself in a 10th. As what speed? Right on the back of Yuri. Thing is, if I'm Jordan, I'm thinking I've got Leroy behind me. Who he's letting through. Has he got a puncher? Why would you let your championship rival through? That is really bizarre. Because now he's just cost himself a bunch of time. Even if he goes on softs now. What? That is so confusing to me. Why you'd ever do that. Could be a sign of respect, but you're in a championship fight. Defend. He's now pit stop behind Leroy. Is he gonna be surely gonna pit? He's staying out. What is going on in this? Why is he staying out? And surely he's not pitted, is he? He hasn't pit. What is he doing? I did not expect this to happen in this race. I thought Jordan would be maybe up there top 3 in actual position. Is he holding on for maybe a safety car? He's done 19 laps on those hard compound. I'm not sure they can make it much further. Even if he goes on the softs, he'd get the fastest lap point. But I don't see him. I mean, I don't even know if he's going to become top 10 at this rate. Sector 2, something's happened. Who's that? Is that? That's Kaya. Cheers, Kaya. I thought Leroy had spun them. This is really. Surely he won't let Gareth through, knowing that he's in the title fight. Like that. He is. I have so many questions. He's pretty much gifting them potentially the title. Okay, Gareth might have caught up in the end, but he's just costing himself like 5-6 tenths, probably even more than that. I really don't understand this choice from him at all. Definitely interesting choice, that's for certain. I mean, if it pays off to him, fair play. He's surely going to pit now. Why is he not pitting? I really don't understand what's going on. Is he staying out to get the DRS? I don't. He's now outside the second window. He's going to lose that second in the S's because Gareth's going to have so much more grip. Sorry. Sector 3, I think that's Kyra again. Please don't cause a safety. 2 laps down. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, look, he's struggling for grip. I think Kyra might retire in the pits. Brisky gets another 3-second time penalty. That's like the third time he's got he's in 12 seconds. I'm not going to question anything. There's so many questions I have. Hot speed still on the back behind Jury. I thought he'd have got past Jury by now. There's Acorn also in the back behind Matt Ryan. As Kaya's car goes onto track despite the fact he retired in the pits. There's Hot speed. He just can't seem to get the better exit. So he will sit behind. Again for another lap. What about Acorn? The tyre advantage not that quick as I thought it would be. But even so then, Jordan would still pit because he's just costing himself so much time. He finally decides to pit. I didn't even think he was going to pit that lap. He didn't look like he was committing to that whatsoever. So, I presume he's now going to go into soft tyres. As the Mercedes crew are out. I presume that's for Matt Ryan for some reason. So he goes on to the softs, which is a good strategy had he not let everyone through. He's going to be 10th place, I want to say. That's very tight. Yeah, he comes out in 10th place on cold softs. They'll warm up quickly, but I can't imagine him getting anything higher than 7th. Maybe, yeah, he might be able to get 7th, actually. I don't think this has worked as well as he thought it would. I mean, those tyres are going to be roasted in the end to the point where these guys will be quicker again. But we'll see. We'll watch this potential comeback from Jordan. This is the closest battle on track right now, as Acorn getting right on the back of Matt Ryan. Here he goes. Overtake on ERS open. He wants to get past Matt Ryan as soon as possible, really. Because he knows Jordan will be behind him, possibly. Here we go. Up the inside, Matt Ryan tries to get the switch back. Doesn't really make it work. Acorn now goes into 8th place, fastest sector 2 as well, so those mediums potentially starting to speed up a bit more as he now goes to catch up to Ryan Berry. As we've got a spinner. Is that risky? It's risky again. How is he spinning? Like, he's coming into the pits. He's hit the pit bollard. His heart's really that roasted, or is he retiring in the pits even though he would have been in the points? We will see. Jordan, meanwhile, stays behind Matt Ryan for the time being. He comes out in potentially 12th place, maybe even lower. Yep, he's going to come out in 13th actually, I think. I don't know why he pitted. I know those hards might have been a bit dead, but it had made it. Brian Barry, 3-second time penalty. Not what he wants. He's running in quite a good place, actually. Here goes Jordan, though. He is right on the back of Matt Ryan. Here we go, then. This is going to be a very good few laps. I'll tell you what, if a safety car comes out, that will make it even more exciting. Here we go, Acorn on the back of Ryan Berry. And he gets that move done fairly well. Jordan up the inside of Matt Ryan and makes the move easily. Ryan Berry, I thought he was going to just expect Ryan Berry to move out of the way there. It looks like Ryan Berry doesn't want to get out of the way. That will annoy Jordan, I'm sure, but you can't just expect your teammate to move out of the way. At the end, he does, as Jules Show has gone round. He hasn't hit the wall yet, though. So this battle for pretty much 6th place, I'd say. Maybe 5th, 6th. At the moment, it's 6th. Jordan right on the back of Acorn. He isn't using his ERS. Oh, he's going to try and go around the outside. This will be a beautiful move if he make it work. No, he doesn't make it work. He might have got a good exit, but nah. Not today. So it's fine for another lap. He has got 5 laps to go to get himself up into at least 5th, I'd say. Oh, what the grip he just got out of there. And he's going to just sit behind that DRS line. And I tell you what, he's going to make the move on Acorn. Acorn could get the switchback, but Jordan's managed to absolutely fraud himself the DRS out of that. Acorn's coming back at him though. He's wanting none of it. Here we go then, side by side between the two alpha teammates. He's gonna stick his nose in. He's not giving this up whatsoever. But it looks like he doesn't have the grip that softs have. So Acorn staying behind Jordan, and I presume Jordan with the extra grip will just completely bolt into the distance and will never be seen again. He has so much more ERS as well, it's actually disgusting. Anyway, hot speed. He is right behind Yuri. How has he not got DRS? What? Oh, he's ran into the back of Yuri. That is dangerous. There, it could be a safety car. As Juleshow has hit the wall. That looks quite a dangerous location. Could we have a safety car? Is it too late? Looks like it might be too late. Interesting. As MX Site gets a 3-second time penalty. I'm sure there's a fair few people screaming, safety car! But there's no safety car because for some reason safety cars seem to be rare around here all of a sudden. We've had 2 quite big crashes and Frisky gets another 3-second time penalty. I think his chances of finishing 11th are practically 0. Here goes. Hot speed then. Another chance on Yuri. Burning the ERS and the DRS. Down the inside he goes. Yuri's going to try and get the switchback. Tell you what, he's got the better run. Here we go. Around the outside. Hot speed's going to try and keep it in. But I tell you what, Yuri has managed to defend him off very well. But he's had a bad exit there. But looks like Yuri has indeed kept himself into 3rd place. As Leroy starts lap 25 out of 28. We've got 3 laps to go. And it's quite an eventful US Grand Prix here. As Hot Speed not going to make a move on the start-finish straight. Jordan has already caught up to Lewis. Wow. Okay, I'll tell you what. He might be able to get a podium out of this. I say might because he might not. But there is a chance. With that pace, he's pulled 2. Nothing's out of question yet. Is Matt Ryan, 3-second time penalty. He's already got at least 3 seconds. Yep. Oh, he's going to go down the inside of Yuri. That's a very dangerous move. These guys aren't very patient. That's what I've noticed. Is here goes Hot Speed. DRS, ERS burning. As he goes, gets him down the start-finish straight, and that is Hot Speed into the podium position. Meanwhile, Jordan makes the overtake on Lewis Craig. Oh, he's ran over the sausage curbs there. That could have been a scary moment for him there. But, yeah, it looks like Lewis Craig is now going to have to sit behind Jordan and see him go into the distance as he goes to try and catch Yuri and Hot Speed. I reckon Jordan might be able to catch up to Yuri. In fact, he might. Yeah, he should be able to because of the penalties. But Hot Speed is going to need a penalty himself to lose the places, I think, because Yuri's going to try and potentially keep with hot speed. Doesn't. And nor does Lewis Craig. So, Yuri trying to keep up with the Haas. Oh, he's got himself another 3-second time penalty. That confirms his podium gone as Risky gets another 3-second time penalty. Does he not know where the white lines are or something? Because it's depressing. It's actually getting to the point where Yuri might actually drop down to 6th. So he might want to get a move on here. Stop corner cutting and making some progress. I say this, Jordan, he's managing to not catch up to Yuri as quick as I thought he would. Lewis was able to stick with him. Meanwhile, Risky has made the move on Newgarden. Unfortunately, those softs are too quick for Newgarden to probably be able to fight. But who knows? It is VSL after all. So, Leroy, second and last lap. He has led this race from pretty much start to finish. Gareth has been in second place from near enough start to finish. Great drives from the both of them. But the rest of the grid has just been all over the place. And by the way, I've got to give a shout out to NA9R and MXite because these two have been at the back of the grid pretty much the whole race after pretty unfortunate incidences throughout the races and without any safety cars or anything. And they've not DNF'd in the pits. I have to give them credit because by now I would have retired in the pits. I love the like kind of motivational boost that they have and the willingness to not retire in the pits and carry on. It's good to see. Need it more in League Racing, so hats off to you. So, Yuri, is he going to try and make this move back on hot speed? By the looks of it, no, he won't. There's a yellow flag, but I can't tell you what for because everyone was moving through that place there. As Newgarden and Risky seem to be battling still. It looks like I feel like the sauce might be slowing down. Oh, hang on, has he ran out of fuel? How has he ran out of fuel? What? Did he really predict a safety car like that badly that he's made it a whole lap and a half down on fuel? Wow. Don't cut any corners, it'll give you a 10-second time penalty. What? This race couldn't get any more manic, could it? Right, Yuri. He probably still wants to get this third place on track. As those softs seem to have died anyway, because Jordan is not catching as much as I thought he would. Now, I'm interested to see if Risky's going to pit. He's going to pit. Okay, so that's his race completely over then. I'd have driven around the track just for the fun of it, but he's had enough, I think. Tell you what, Gareth has slowly but surely caught up to Leroy, but it's just not going to be enough. As Yuri then, he has caught up to hot speed. The mediums and the softs do not last as long as I thought they would. Here we go. Yuri, on the start finish straight, as MXite has got the fastest lap, so he's got somewhere out of this race. And up in a third place, the Red Bull driver goes. And I would also like to point out, I think it's top 12 for points in this league. So MXI has actually got himself 2 points, not just 1. Meanwhile, though, it has been a dominant drive from Leroy. It's just been beautiful from him, led from start to finish. And it is Leroy who has won the US Grand Prix. Brilliant drive from him. Gareth will get himself second after a very consistent, and he caught up a lot. Yuri. These guys need to stop overfueling themselves, underfueling themselves. And I think Ryan Berry's also ran out of fuel. As Yuri gets 6th across the line, but will Acorn be able to capitalise on that? He doesn't. Matt Ryan, 8th. Newgarden has fuel. Will get 9th, I think. He gets 8th. Ryan Berry hasn't run out of fuel, by the way. Just had a mistake. N89 will get 11th place. Very consistent. I told you about the 10 seconds. It's happened. I don't know why the game does that to you. It's stupid. MX Site will get himself 12th, the final points position, I believe. I might be wrong. I apologise if I am. And Risky will slowly but surely get 13th. They say 13 is an unlucky number. Well, that's why. As that is very close to that Mercedes. But yeah, good drive from these top two. They've just been consistent. Jordan at the end getting 4th place. I was saying that he probably wouldn't even get top 6. And he now goes and gets himself 4th. So makes this a bit more interesting. As just like could be penalty. There will definitely be penalties awarded by the end of the race. Yeah, brilliant drive from these top two. Hot speed as well. Great drive. Jordan had a good drive. Risky is gonna get disqualified. How many penalties does this guy have? 38. Ah no, he's been disqualified, hasn't he? No, he has. Why is it on wets? What? Have they got 38 seconds of penalty? I've never seen anyone get so high penalties. I'd stay off track if I was you. Go on, you got one last corner. Go on, you can do it. Don't run wide, whatever you do. Risky, 13th place. Great drive from him. Whoever's giving them that kind of engineering and whoever's fueling their cars might need a reality check, because a lap and a half under fuel isn't a good move. But anyway, here goes Leroy Hasselager, and he comes out in his Ferrari suit, jumps in delight. Do you blame him? He is probably quite tired after that race, with the total of 2 overtakes he made through the race. As he points to his team. Good points for Ferrari, I think. Mercedes, I think, probably are the team who gained the most out of that. So Leroy splashes his champagne with Gareth, who sprays him with the Haas driver just kind of not in the shot. He's gone home. He's not even in the shot. Right, so that is your race over. As Leroy Hasselager then wins the race despite being 3 seconds slower than the fastest lap. Gareth gets 2nd place, only a second behind at the end of the day. So even though none of them really battled, very close at the end. Hot Speed gets 3rd place. Jordan will get 4th as all the penalties come down after. Lewis Craig in 5th. Yuri after running out of fuel in 6th. Acorn 7th. Newgarden 8th. Matt Ryan 9th. Ryan Berry 10th. N89R 11th. MX Site 12th. And Risky 13th, with Juleshow, Kaya, and Tony P all rounding off the DNFers. And yeah, that was a good race. MX Site getting the fastest lap, by the way, by over, I think, 2 seconds compared to everyone else, par Risky, who we don't count in this race because he ran out of fuel. His car shouldn't have driven on after that. But yeah, that is your race here in Cota. I want to thank you all for watching. I apologise, it's not been the greatest stream. If I ever do stream again, in this tier, which I hope maybe one day I can, who knows, but I don't have the flu, because it's been a bit of a struggle tonight, I can't lie. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Remember to follow all the socials. I think they might be in the description. I can't promise you that though. They're all just at VSL Virtual Sim Leagues or something like that. Or at VSL_F1 actually rings a bell. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and we will see you. Oh, I feel like I need to nominate a driver of the day. I'll go Leroy. But yeah, I'll see you all next time. And remember to check out the next race, which I believe, I want to say Brazil, but I I'm not going to say that with confidence. Hang on, give me 2 seconds while I double check, because I feel like you need to come back, because this title fight is just getting better and better, especially with the result we had tonight. It definitely adds an aspect of closeness to the championship. We go to calendar. We are indeed at Brazil, and it's a sprint race, so it's definitely one you don't want to miss. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will